well, mate, it's time for Everton. Sorry, that was my attempt at a Scouse accent with a sore throat. It is sore throat day 2. Sore throat gate is real. But it is the Tipler 3848 here. And we have got Everton in my countdown for the BPL A to Z. But I think it actually only goes to W, but whatever. We have got Everton, and we got Timmy Howard. Timmy Tourette's cut. Yep. He's not too bad anymore, really. Apparently that's why he left Man United. His Tourette's was crazy, so he had to leave. You got usual back four of Baines, Jagielka, Stones and Coleman. Really surprised you've actually managed to hold on to Coleman up to this point. John Stones, obviously Chelsea are circling like the sharks that they are, but they're not willing to put up the cash that you want, so fair play to you. You've got a midfield two of Tom Cleverley and McCarthy, the two sitting. I'm guessing McCarthy would be more of the CDM than Tom Cleverley. Cleverley's not really a player that I like, but he did well for Villa. He scored 3 goals in 3 games at the back end of last season, so, you know, who knows, you might get something out of the kid. Plus, he was free, so you're not really wasting any money. Then you've got Mirallas on the left. New signing-ish. Well, 2 years ago you had him on loan, then he went somewhere else on loan, Sevilla possibly, and now he's back on a permanent deal, so you've got to be happy with that. He's really good. He really gave Arsenal some trouble in the Asia Trophy. Not too much trouble though, we did absolutely spank you, but that's fine. We've also got Ross Barkley, who scored an absolute... Oh, it was just world class. It was such a nice goal against Arsenal, and against Petr Cech as well, so fair play to him. If he's fit, he has to play. Simple as. And up front, Lukaku. You bought him from Chelsea for £28 million. He played like a £28 million player the season when you had him on loan. He didn't get to that kind of level last season at all. But he's still young. Go on, let's check it. He's 21, so he's got time to burn. But I think he's really going to push on this season. On your bench, you've got Joel Robles. You've got Gareth Barry. Just kind of old now, isn't he? Besic, who's probably the guy who's going to be sort of coming in when Gareth Barry retires and what have you. Aidan McGeady, who again, he's skillful and everything, but for me, he's not as good as Deulofeu. Stephen Naismith, Brian Oviedo. Brian? Yeah, he's called Brian now, even if it's not his real name. He's called Brian. And you've got Kone. Weird one, Kone. I'm not sure what happened to him last season. I think he got injured or something, but never really hit the heights. But I just want to obviously give a shout out to Garbett. He did quite well with the under-21s in England. And I hear he's going out on loan, but he is one to watch for the future. So I'm now going to move on to your upgraded. So Evertonians, the toffee men. Here are your upgrades that I'm suggesting for FIFA 16 career mode. Obviously, Ultimate Team cards have been used as a representation. It's just for display, just to make it look fabulous. But we have João Deulofeu, who played 28 times last season for Sevilla. He scored 3 times, assisted 10 times, which is really, really good. The reason that I'm putting him in here is he was really essential to that Sevilla team that won the Europa League. Him and Carlos Bacca worked really well together. He deserves an upgrade. He's quite low for a player of his skill right now, really, because he is only a 76, which seems crazy. He should be a lot higher, so I'm going to suggest a 78, maybe a 79, 78 to be safe. I pretty much tend to go sort of 2 points over what they are at the minute, depending on the impact they've had. Second player, John Stones, 21 years of age. Really took to the Premier League in ridiculous fashion. He's a good ball winner. He is good at winning the ball and then carrying it out. I can see why Chelsea want him. A lot more teams are going to want him as well when he does eventually come to be available. So we'll have to wait and see how that all progresses. But £30 million I think Chelsea offered in the end. That would be a steal if they get him for that. If Raheem Sterling's worth 49, John Stones has got to be worth more than that for me, because He's really good at this tender age of 21. If he could go to somewhere like Chelsea, learn from John Terry, he could be absolutely world class. His potential is there. Let's hope he fulfills it. So I'm going to move on to your downgrades. So the downgrades I've chosen for you guys. The first one looked really weird, so I'm going to go straight on to the second one. Right hand side, Aruna Kone, 19 appearances, 2 goals, no assists. Terrible stats for a striker. He did have a knee injury which kept him out for a really, really long time. So you can't really blame him all that much. But obviously it's not ideal. Strikers want to be scoring goals. That is the be-all and end-all. Strikers have to score goals. So that's why I've picked on Mr. Kone. So in light of the knee injury, I'd have to say from a 76, just put him down to a 75, because it's not necessarily his fault that he didn't hit the heights that people were expecting. Obviously Martinez had him at Wigan, he did quite well at Wigan. Hopefully he can get over this knee injury, have a good pre-season, and then really, really kick on. But the second one looks weird, but let me explain it. Lukaku. Yes, he's got 20 goals in 48 appearances, which looks really good. 7 assists as well, but a lot of that was in the Europa League, and Everton didn't really play the best teams. They played Wolfsburg, who are really good. Lille are a team on the down, and then they played Young Boys Bern, which always makes me smile, because that's just such a weird name for a team. And Dynamo Kiev, which obviously they eventually went out to. So the opposition wasn't the strongest. No wonder Lukaku got 8 goals in 9 games. He only got 10 in the Premier League. For a striker of Lukaku's standing, you've got to be looking 15 to 20 per season, especially when you consider that he played more minutes than anyone else up front. He played 36 out of 38 games in the Premier League, so he really should be looking towards kind of the Charlie Austin and Harry Kane kind of amount of goals, and that's why I've put him in there. He has the talent, there's absolutely no denying that. Maybe the Europa League was a bit of a distraction for him, it didn't work in his favour. I don't know what happened to him, but he just didn't hit the heights he did the year before in the Premier League, so hopefully he can get back to that. That's why I put him as a downgrade, even though his stats do look really good. I'm going to move on to your possible transfer targets. So, possible transfers. The transfers you've been looking at centre-backs for some reason. I'm not sure why that is. Your centre-backs seem pretty solid, but you've been looking at Johnny Evans. Please, God, don't go there. He is awful. He's not Man United grade. He's not Everton grade. He should be in like the Championship at the bottom somewhere. Just leave him alone. He's pretty damn terrible. The second one you've been looking at is Nemanja Vidic, which is a really bold move, really. He's a very good player still. He's strong. He's commanding. He's a leader. Man United have really missed him. I mean, how can you lose Vidic and only have like Smalling, Jones and Evans still there? So if you could get Vidic, he could be a good buy for you. He's still young-ish. Not really. He's 33. But I'm trying to put a positive spin on it for you. But out of those two, I'd probably go for Vidic, to be honest. I know Johnny Evans has got 6 years on him left of his career. But go for Vidic. Don't go for Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans is a liability. Your second position. Now, I couldn't put it into kind of one category of one single position, so I've just put it under the header midfield. You, like Stoke, have been looking at Xherdan Shaqiri. Now, that's a bit of an odd one, but I'll move on for a sec. Dries Mertens from Napoli, who's a really good player, and Dennis Prayet, I think I'm saying that right, I'm not entirely sure, from Anderlecht. I know a little bit about that kid. Saw him against Arsenal for Anderlecht last season, and he was fantastic. He is a great, great, great player already. He's only 21. He's going to get better. I think the likes of sort of Real Madrid and Barca are going to be looking at this kid in the future. So if you can nab him now, before they all kind of get behind him, before the media and everything pick up on him majorly, that is going to be good for you guys. Dries Mertens, a good option as well. He's quick, he's tricky, and obviously Belgian international. he'd link up well with Morales, or if you want to play him instead of Morales, that's also good. Shaqiri, I might want to stay clear of. He only went to Inter 6 months ago, and for talk for him to be moving on 6 months later seems crazy, but I think he doesn't want to come to the Premier League. He seems to be kind of umming and ahhing. Sort of left Stoke in the lurch, didn't really say anything about it, Mark Hughes, but basically looks like Zerda and Shaqiri just didn't really reply to their offer after it was accepted, which seems really weird and kind of unprofessional. Weirdly, you've also been linked with David Ospina from Arsenal. Really odd one. I don't think that's going to happen because it looks like Wojciech Szczesny is going to be going out on loan to Roma with Petr Cech coming in, so that would leave Arsenal with Ospina, Cech, and then Martinez as number 3. So I don't think that one's going to happen. But that's the end of this video. I'm really trying to ramp this up and keep it going. But this throat of mine is killing me. I've dosed myself up on painkillers enough just to get this done today. So hopefully that's appreciated. I do want to keep this going. I am going to keep this going. That is Everton done. Scousers, what do you think? Obviously the blue half of Scouse Town I'm talking to right now. What do you think? The Goodison Park faithful, is that correct? Would you like to see any of these players playing for your club? If so, who? Throw me a comment and a like and a sub if you're new around here, and I'll see you in the next video with the next team.